Hey, I got a question for you. Are you one of those people that eat and after 3 to 4 hours, you're ravenously starving and you feel like a slave to food? Believe me, I've been there. And on today's video, we're gonna be talking about how you don't have to be a slave to food. Y'all might be kind of like I was back a few years ago. I was kind of doing the bodybuilding thing. I ate a high amount of protein. I was eating a lot of carbohydrates, anywhere from about 200 to 300 grams of protein and carbohydrates. And I had a very low fat diet. And I could tell you what time it was almost based off of my stomach, man. I would be growling about every 3 to 4 hours. I mean, I'd have this ridiculous hunger sensation, and I had to eat like 6 to 8 times a day. Now, that approach, it did work for me as far as staying lean, but I felt like I was a slave to food, and I'm sure a lot of you are out there that are like that. Then I got introduced to the ketogenic world. I started playing around with it and actually became fat adapted. So I went from eating 6 to 8 times a day to where I was eating about 2 to 3 large meals. Now, that was crucial because I didn't feel like I was a slave to food, and it really suppressed my appetite. And my wife really thanked me for it because I wasn't as hangry all the time, right? And so what I want to help you understand, the reason why that is and why people sometimes think that, oh, I could never go like that long without food, And now with the way I eat, I might sometimes only eat 2 large meals in a day. And often people say, oh, I could never do that. Like I would go crazy and I would be starving all the time. And so what I want to help you understand is there is hope. The reason why you can't go so long without eating is your blood sugar is constantly going up and down because you're fueling yourself with carbohydrates and sugar all day long. So every 3 to 4 hours, what happens is you eat and then you have an insulin spike, the blood sugar goes up, and then at about 3 to 4 hours, it starts to drop. Then it signals hormones for you to eat again, like ghrelin and so forth. So ghrelin is a hormone that stimulates hunger and you want to eat, right? So if we could suppress that, that would be great because you wouldn't feel starving all the time. So if you're that person that wants to get off the up and down, the roller coaster of feeling starving all the time, feeling like you're a slave to food and hangry, then I really highly recommend you trying out a ketogenic style diet. Now, the difference is that you just shift your macros around a little bit. And so instead of you having like more of a 40-40-20 of a 40% protein, 40% carbohydrates, and 20% fat, it's kind of flip-flopped a little bit around. So it would be more like a 50% fat. Now the fat's gonna help really keep you satiated and do like somewhere like a 30-40% protein. And then the rest of it will be filled in with the carbohydrates. Now what that's gonna do is the fat ultimately is gonna shift your body over from sugar metabolism to fat metabolism. It's gonna suppress your appetite and it's gonna keep those hormones like ghrelin at bay. So ultimately, you're gonna be able to become a better fat burner while being able to build muscle at the same time. So hopefully these tips help. Another thing that you can do is add in intermittent fasting with it. So the longer that you go without food, insulin's gonna stay baseline. And when you don't have a rise in insulin, it's basically the signaling or the switch to turn on fat burning. And so ultimately, the longer you go about doing this, the more efficient your body gets at fat burning. So going longer periods without food and including high amounts of protein and fat shifts your body over to this fat metabolism. Now that doesn't go to say that you eat a lot less calories. You might just eat a lot more in one sitting. And because fat's more calorically dense, you get more calories per gram out of a fat molecule. You shouldn't have trouble getting the maintenance calories that your body needs to operate on a daily basis. So with that said, y'all don't have to be a slave to food anymore. You don't have to be hangry. You don't have to be starving all the time. This is great information that'll help give you some freedom in your life. So if you like this information, feel free to subscribe to our channel. Make sure you like, hit the notification button, do all the things. And if, hey, that's not your thing either, then feel free not to. But God bless you guys. Have a great day. Hope you have a great new year as well. 2020 is out of here. Bam. Get out. Kick. Get out of here, 2020. Bring in the new year. Yeah. Peace.